Mother of pearl. Okay. I think I'm getting the hang of this. Probably not, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, baby. So let's see what auto recommend did for me here, right? Let's see. Um, Still getting used to the new camera there, guys. I'm not wearing my glasses today because I figured maybe looking less nerdy would help me out. I don't know. I definitely, I don't think Jews have the Cro-Magnon. I don't know. Dude, I would be so mad. Somebody buy me a DNA test, one that's not made by Jews, right? And dude, if it came back Jewish, I'd be absolutely devastated. But yeah, no, that'd be funny as fuck. Still, I would call them war criminals. I might have to self-delete if I was. God forbid. I wouldn't mind being like, if I came up Palestinian Jew, okay? Like the actual Jews, the ones that Jesus were. I wouldn't mind that. But it's funny because, I walk amongst the whites. I was always white when I grew up, and then everybody just accepted me as white. And then people started thinking I'm Middle Eastern, and then people could think I was Greek, and then people could think I'm Lebanese. I can walk amongst any people group except for black people. And even then, I get along great with black people, man. You know, well, whatever they respect. I don't know. I had black neighbors. You stay out of their business, they stay out of yours, right? Okay, so let's check out this. This was my auto feed. So this is YouTube trying to nudge me to these Jewish lies. So let's check it out.
They believe that the United States is pristine. You know what
Wait.
pristine means? Pure. Pristine innocence. And that the Israelis control everything. They
Are
trick
we here? Oh,
everybody.
I know what's
They're
happening.
behind everything.
Hold on, guys.
Everything
Sorry.
that happens.
Not that.
If there's a car crash on
Volume
Ocean
off.
Parkway where I live, it's the Zionists.
Oh my god.
Where do you
Hey, let's talk about a straw man. There's a car crash near me. It's the Zionists. No, there's a war crimes being committed, and that's funded by the Zionists and carried out by the Jews. I don't like, dude. Come up with a better argument, for God's sake. This is weak sauce. Weak sauce. Now, why? I guess that's the ambient noise. I'm looking at this. I don't know what that is. When I see that level right there, I don't know. Anyways, let's see some Jewish cope.
think this leaves Trump's base? Do you think Tucker
And
Carlson
I'm gonna have to speed it up because I just can't stand to hear Jews, man. Fucking Jews.
and the people who have been alongside him in sort of their criticism of Trump, specifically with how he seems to be, allowing Israel to capture what they think is Israel capturing U.S. foreign policy. So people like Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, do you think they sufficiently move Trump's base, or do you think they are also just elites within within the Republican Party?
Judging by the polls, Trump's base has remained firm. It's a kind of cult.
No, it has not. And I don't trust these polls. Uh, Everybody I know, I know a ton of people who are MAGA who turned their back on him completely. So, no. And any minor fracture in the MAGA base is a huge deal. I mean, in a close election, it's a huge deal. If he loses 10% of MAGA, that's say goodbye. And it doesn't even matter. This is his last term. If you ask me, Netanyahu knows that, like, Israel knows we're waking up to all these problems, And that is why they're being so voracious and pursuing their goals so hardcore in such an insane and blatant way, smashing smashing the face of Jesus, killing Christians, all this stuff. They've probably been doing it for years, and we know they're war crimes. Like, okay, you know, listen, I've been fiscally conservative type of person my whole life, more libertarian on the other end. I think that we can all agree on human rights. Now, people say it's a fiction because human rights don't really exist, right? I get that. They don't exist. They're conceptual. But if we enforce them, then they exist, okay? So, you know, people that the Jews are killing have a right to live. That's human rights, okay? But we have been terrible. UN, NATO, whichever giant government organization or NGO, whatever, that is its job is to watch these things, has failed utterly every time. Did they ever stop like things from happening to the Chechens? No. Did they ever stop like all these genocides everywhere? No. Have they done anything for the people in Africa? No. They're nothing. They don't do anything. They're absolutely, they're supposed to be the world police, I guess, but the U.S. is the world police, is what they're trying to sell us to. But really, we're just Israel's, stockpile of weapons and disposable people to go and die for them. So, no, it's not the Jews are behind every car crash. What a fucking ridiculous straw man. No, but the Jews are behind a lot. You care a lot about Israel. Like, I'm sure this guy is Israel first. He won't admit that AIPAC is a foreign lobby, probably. Like, dude, this special relationship with the Jews is killing us. It's not like our special relationship with Britain where they actually helped us out. And now we're going to turn our back on Europe for these Jews. These fake Jews, might I add you. 30% European DNA. The rest of it is Edomite DNA. Most likely, they're not even the real Jews. They're most likely the people that were force converted in the Maccabean revolt, right? And the same people who the Romans appointed Herod to rule over, who was an Edomite, which basically means you're half Canaanite, half Jewish. And then you further dilute that with European blood. These are nowhere near the people who were in Israel at one point in time, in that past. They're a bunch of fucking gypsies, really. I mean, they could put it all to bed immediately with some DNA tests. They'll never do that. And it's because of our own fucking retarded Zionist evangelicals who sold their soul for money. And dude, Billy Graham knew about this, and he just knew the time wasn't right to act. So all of you evangelicals, are you going to go against Billy Graham? Was he anti-Semitic when he had his conversations with Nixon? No. He said that these people were like almost supernaturally gifted for their ability to lie and take control of mass media and shit like that. Okay? Now that doesn't mean we make Hitler our saint. Okay? That didn't work. Hitler failed. Okay? He failed. But there's valuable lessons we can learn from that. And violence, they want you to commit violence. The Jews love when you commit violence. They've been like going on about the Holocaust forever. You can go to the Holocaust Museum in D.C., which I did when I was in 8th grade on a field trip, and you can go watch the fear porn about the shoes and like thousands of shoes, like, oh, these are all the dead Israelis. Like, listen, I'm sorry that those people died. I really am. But it has nothing to do with us at all. And we actually helped you guys out. And then now we're stuck helping you out. And now you're the fucking Nazis.
You can say, and
like, listen, there is so much evidence that the Israeli government is like a rogue state, an evil state. And they do not like, they hate Westerners more than they hate Arabs, okay? And I could pass as both, maybe, right, guys? And you know what? That's precisely why I don't. And just ask people in the Middle East. They don't want to fuck with the Jews, but they don't like the Jews. No, they don't. And the Jews are the best at propaganda, but they haven't adapted to this. And this is just a story of over and over, the same story over and over again. Somebody breaks containment. Somebody shows the public, starts to. They get discredited, silenced. But the overwhelming, like Pat Buchanan comes to mind, the overwhelming corpus of evidence against them is so high right now that it's obvious. I think the only way that they'll get out of this, and I think that maybe this is just coming to me right now, but maybe this is the whole reason for AI, so that we can't distinguish reality when we see these war crimes. Remember just the other day with the smashing of the face of Jesus statue. Like, first, everybody wanted to say it was AI. Everybody wanted to say that first, okay? And, yeah, it wasn't, okay? So, this is why they're building AI, most likely, to cover, so nobody knows how many fucking Arabs they're bombing. They could be bombing, if AI gets confusing enough for everybody that we can't tell fucking our ass from our elbow, they could be murdering people in the North Carolina or Mississippi and we wouldn't know. I mean, dude, people who view you as human cattle, okay, that's how they view you, and all they do is redirect our hate towards Muslims, okay, and they flood our countries with the worst people from Muslim countries to give us a bad impression of Muslims while fucking our countries up. They want us to fall. Now, god dang, I mean, I uploaded a clip. Like, dude, these rabbis don't hide this, okay? They do not hide this at all. They should have. It's too late now. It's too late now. And, I challenge, like, any Jew to a fair fight. Any fucking Jew who thinks I'm wrong, I challenge you to a debate, to a cage match, to a fucking sword fight, to pistols at dawn. I don't care. Because I know the Lord is with me and not with you guys, okay? And Jesus said to pray for your enemies, which is very freaking difficult with these people because they just keep lying to your face. And I don't know if they're self-deluded. Some probably are. Some probably know what they're doing. Some probably are straight up evil. I mean, what kind of country, protests for the right to rape people they've captured? What kind of country shoots children as target practice? What kind of country starts a war fucking every 5 to 10 years, always trying to expand? The Greater Israel Project, all this stuff. They want to be a regional power and then a dominant power. And if they can get enough things, if they can make enough success militarily and get people to be under the yoke of Palantir, then we are going to have, like, basically an antichrist system. I don't care if you're religious or not, but this is what they want to do. They want to make you digitally their slaves. And they also want to be able to take you and puppeteer you after you're dead. They would love it if they could kill me, and then if I was a huge symbol, and then still have an AI image of me that says the opposite things. Okay? I'm totally radicalized on these people. Okay? Every time that I call them out and people say you're anti-Semitic, it ends up being right. Okay? And by the way, Semitic stands for Shemitic, from the ancestors of Shem, which they are not. They are far more likely to be the ancestors of Esau, the Canaanites, and the Edomites. Okay, so you can look at it biblically, you can look at it secularly, Even if, and their claim to this country is 2,000 years old. What I mean, what other place gets to claim something 2,000 years old? Nobody. Nobody. And they're actually a colonist project, colonial project. The thing that, like, we as Americans have been getting fucking absolutely divided over. Okay? They want us. That's why also the demographic shift has happened. They know that if you tribalize people, that if you put a bunch of groups of people and like do things like not only put a bunch of different groups of people, but also force integrate them and force like hatred among the groups, then they will never take a look where the money actually leads. Okay, it's all out in the open. Anybody could figure this out if they want to. If you don't want to figure it out, okay, you don't want to figure it out. If you're unwilling to do the research on it, which is so minimal, guys. It's so fucking minimal. I mean, I know Google's top results won't show you, you know, uh, that I know that Google is gonna always contextualize things for you, okay? But it's funny. I've got some things to share with you guys. But let's hear this fucking Jew out, should we?
A cult leader can do no wrong. We know that. I was a Maoist in my youth, a follower of Chairman Mao.
What a surprise that he was he was a Maoist. You know where communism and socialism came from, right? Do you know what ethnicity the people who did that were? Who created those ideologies? That that flattened out Russia and destroyed religion there. Okay? You guys, we have to form some sort of cohesive resistance against this, okay? It has to happen somehow. Otherwise, you guys, do you want to be master, do you want to be a slave to to Jeffrey Epstein like people? People who in the Talmud it says if you're 3 years and 1 day, you can have sex with that kid, okay? It also says that like necrophilia is permitted in certain circumstances. It's absolutely disgusting, and this is what they teach. So, it's fucking disturbing as hell, guys. It's disturbing as hell. Let me go. Let him go on.
And Chairman Mao could do no wrong. It's a cult. But I do believe, and I have to be careful about my language here because I don't want to be misunderstood. I do believe a problem is arising. You remember I told you
Oh my
a few
God.
moments ago, I said to you a few moments
Just-
ago that there was an informational void, that there was an informational void which the Israelis filled. And there is a kind of political void in the United States. There are some exceptions like Azor.
There was an Okay, you guys. Let me try and make this guy. Dude, I gotta speed it up, okay? Holy fucking shit. Alright, hold on. Unapologetic. Is that the name? I mean, unapologetic? Yeah, you guys will never apologize for killing children.
Void which the Israelis filled. And there is a kind of political void in the United States. There are some exceptions like Zohar Mamdani's victory in New York. And the fact that Bernie Sanders can still bring out the crowd wherever he travels when he's attacking the...
Let me remind you, we're at war with Iran, and this guy is strawmanning Zionists, saying that every car crash is Israeli. But, it's funny because ironically, the government possesses the capabilities to make your car crash, and CIA is probably Mossad infiltrated, so he's not far off. You see, they snitch on themselves a little bit. I don't know if that was what he was trying to say. He may not know anything about that, but the truth is that, there's so many people who have started talking about Israel and ended up dead.
Republican Trump administration. But in general, if you look, somebody sent me a diagram yesterday. It was a circle graph indicating who are the biggest podcasters now in the United States. The biggest was influencers. The biggest was Elon Musk.
And this is why, guys, we can never get hyper focused on the Holocaust. The Holocaust is a smokescreen, okay? If you go down and start denying the Holocaust, which, who cares, frankly? Who cares what happened back then? Frankly, it's being used as a political cudgel now, okay? So, who cares? That's what I say about the Holocaust. Who cares? 20 billion people died, more than the Earth's population. I don't fucking care. Okay, it doesn't matter. That is a fucking red herring. That is something that is meant to take you off of the correct trail. So don't get caught up in the semantics of denying the Holocaust. Okay, I don't deny the Holocaust. All right, I don't deny it because I'm sure Hitler had some certain reasons that were very reasonable, but it's never reasonable to commit mass slaughter. That's why we're criticizing Israel right now. It's never okay to commit systematized concentration camp filled murders, killing women and children. Did you ever see the video of the guy just stealing property? Some New Jersey Jew. This is my house now. This is my house now. Shabbat shalom. Right? It's disgusting.
Then there were people like Jackson Hinkle. It's clear the left has no voice in the U.S. It's none. It doesn't have.
What are you talking about?
At least on the social media.
You know what? There's one voice, and it's screaming out, "Get these Jews away from me! Get me the fuck away from these Jews!" That's what every single voice is saying. And now everybody's looking around like, who the fuck are these Jews? Who's a Jew? Who's a Jew? Who's not a Jew? And you know what? You brought it upon your own head, Jews. You really did. Because you could not live in peace. You need a country. You have a country, but you need the entire Middle East to be yours. So you can have, the abomination of desolation. So you can have your Messiah who's gonna. Do you know what a Jewish Messiah would be like? Like nowadays, these Jews, I'm not talking about Jesus. Do you know what sort of Messiah they would have? One who liked pornography, one who liked all the degeneracy, one who follows the Talmud. We're gonna have to do a Talmud series on here, guys, and it's gonna be fucking hilarious. Not hilarious, but I mean, it's gonna be disgusting.
Has no real presence. The only person who ranked at all was Mehdi Hassan. And Mehdi Hassan is just an opportunist. Occasionally he'll say things that sound leftist, and then it's just Democratic Party lying. He's not a voice of the left. I don't even think he would call himself a person of the left. Now, the biggest institutional beneficiary of the debacle in Iran are going to be Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, all of whom said that this was going to be a disaster. Credit given where credit due. I have no problem with that. Tucker Carlson, not only when the war began, the aggression, they believed that the United States is pristine. The only person who ranked at the debacle in Iran are going to be Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, all of whom said that this was going to be a disaster. Credit given where credit due. I have no problem with that. Tucker Carlson, not only when the war began, the aggression began. Not only when the aggression began, but already a month before, he apparently, judging from his what he said, he had visited the White House several times on several occasions and had strongly counseled against the war. And he said it would be a disaster. He was right. Okay? And as you know the expression, to the victor go the spoils. His stock is now going to go through the ceiling.
I thought this guy was heavily anti-Israel. Is this not the guy? Is this okay? This guy's clearly fucking.
He's going to become a prophet. P-H-E-T, not F-I-T. He's going to become a prophet now, though he's going to profit F-I-T handsomely, for sure, from this. And I think that's a problem. Now, I don't want to question his religious convictions. I have no idea. I have to admit, and
He wouldn't put his hand on the Bible when he was sworn into office. What president has ever done that?
I'll get killed by people on the left for saying it. But what Tucker Carlson tweeted to Trump, that was kind of touching. It was. A person in power who actually cares about human life. Very unusual. So I will credit that because I don't know whether to doubt his religious convictions or not. I don't know him. I spoke to him once, on the phone for a while. Otherwise,
Why
I only
would
know him via.
we have every reason to doubt his religious convictions? He said he doesn't think he's going to get into heaven. He wouldn't put his hand on the Bible. There's plenty of reasons to doubt his religious convictions. I don't. Has he ever said anything regarding Jesus Christ, or has he ever preached the gospel? Has he ever acted like a Christian? No. And you know what? We were wrong. All of us who wanted law and order is the reason we voted for Trump, was for law and order, for things to return to a state of normalcy, for stability on a no new war platform. And we should have been paying attention that we were so against Biden and we were so afraid of our country completely just falling apart that we didn't look into what Trump was doing this time. We didn't look into it. And we that's how much we hated leftists. And this is part of the Jewish playbook, okay? They always get what they want somehow. How is it that they always get what they want, guys? All we have to do is stop supporting them. And it's not us, it's the politicians. Our politicians need to stop supporting them. I'll tell you, if they don't, we're all going to be in hell on earth because of this bullshit. And it may take a year, it may take 20, but this is not good. Okay, guys? This is not good, and most average people do not want wars. They don't want this stuff. They don't want to hate Jews. They don't want to. Okay? And I believe this guy is normally very Israel critical, but it's like I said, pay attention to what they don't say. Pay attention to the dog that didn't bark in the night. Okay? He should have, but he didn't. So let's take a
What?
further look.
However, giving credit where credit is due, this notion that this was an Israeli war, that the U.S. had no stake in it, that somehow the Israelis convinced Trump that Iran was our enemy.
Yeah, how is that so far fetched when there's a thing called the Epstein files? How is that so far fetched that they probably are blackmailing him? And we know how Mossad acts. We know exactly how they operate. They constantly oversell. They've been saying Iran was away from a nuclear weapon since the 80s. That's 45 years of being 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon, guys. And this guy that thinks that, like, we got into this, yeah, maybe Trump jumped into it voluntarily. Sure, maybe. I mean, why would Trump, the person who was anti-war, the person who told us he pulled back the curtain on the corruption, he blew the lid off of everything almost on his first term, and now he won't do what's right? Listen, Donald Trump is not going to live much longer, okay? Why the fuck? He should just do what's right and if he did terrible, awful things, whatever he did, he's close to death, okay? If I was that age and I still was unwilling to let my public image be tarnished and would rather let innocents die than that, okay, whatever, all right? It wouldn't matter. You're almost dead, Trump. You're almost dead. Nobody lives that long, okay? At the very best, you have, and very unlikely, another 20 years if you live to be 100. Very unlikely.
No, that went back about 30 years. Iran was our enemy. Um, and if you listen to Tucker Carlson, he went one step further. He said Israel dragged the U.S. into the war because it wanted the U.S. to be defeated. It,
Let me show you guys something. Let me show you guys something. Okay? Let me show you. Let me show you. Not this one. Shit. Ba da 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 da. Let me show you these lying fucking Jews. I can't believe that this guy is even now. Isn't this the guy who was so anti-Israel? Is this not that guy? Okay. Let me show you guys something. Literally, I made a short of it. Watch.
Because the most powerful nations in the world have to go down to their knees. That's what happened to Egypt. That's what's going to happen to America. That's what's going to happen to Germany. That's what's going to happen to France. That's what's going to happen to London. England's going to happen to Poland.
Want it to happen.
That's what's going to happen to Russia. That's what's going to happen to China. That's what's going to happen to North Korea.
These are who we're fighting
They're
the
all going to
war
go
for.
down. They're all going to go down to their
We're
knees,
fighting the war for this guy.
especially the Western ones. The Zohar says that they're going to go down
Oh yeah,
hard
they'll fucking
for how they
love
treated
the
us over the
West.
last 2,000 years. For the destruction of the Second Temple and how they treated us, Hashem's going to take them down hard.
Actually, you're gonna
He's
have
going
to
to
bow
humiliate them.
before
And on the world
Christians one day.
stage.
One day you're gonna have to
Western
bow
countries.
before Christ and
Basic.
answer for your
Everyone.
fucking crimes. You piece of shit. This is
I'll
hate
take
speech
that
by
one.
your own definition.
That's what I
You
wanna see.
fucking Jew.
I don't want anyone to get hurt, but
Hey, Jews, get a hold of your own
let's move
fucking
things ahead a
Jew.
little.
Sorry, I like laughing at myself. But look at this fucking little demon right here, guys. So I want you to see the sharp contrast between that and this and what this guy's saying. Like, we have no fucking reason to believe that they want the downfall of the West. There's so much evidence, guys, but because everybody's so fucking lazy, and if it's not in your top feed or on Wikipedia, which is run by the CIA, by the way, if it's not like it's getting so bad that if AI doesn't tell it, it's not true. And AI fucking lies. And AI is they're fucking owned. I think most of them are Jewish owned, right? And if they're not Jewish owned, then they're Zionist owned. If they're not Zionist owned, then they're owned by somebody who's been compromised. Okay, so the day, I mean, how can you watch this? All right, maybe he's just one extremist. Okay, whatever. They're spitting on Christians, killing Christians. They fucking you guys. I used to be somebody who inexplicably, when I grew up, there was always attached to the conservative party. I stand with Israel. I don't know why. They always said they were our greatest allies in the Middle East. And back in the day, before all this, it was easy to believe. It was easy to believe because the Jews we thought of in our head, I thought that a good amount of these Jews were the ones that were there. Like, honestly, we did not know. They did a great job at making us forget about all this. They did a great job at doing. They're fucking clever. They're smart. Don't underestimate them. But at the end of the day, they're fucking Jews. How long has this been going on? Who knows? But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, everything you look up that's depraved, almost 90% of it, you find the source. It's fucking Jews or Zionists. Okay, every single time. Do you know how many times I've Googled is blah 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 Jewish when I see somebody doing some fucked up shit? It's insane. You know how with black people they say 15% of the population commits 80% of the crimes or whatever, okay? Well, the Jews, who are 1% of the population, commit 90% of the political, white collar, evil, nation destroying crimes. Okay? So call me an anti Semite if you want, but the evidence is there that these people are fucking insane. If you do not revoke your loyalty to Israel, if you do not, I honestly think that we should make them become Christians, but I don't even think that would work. See, here's the thing. This has been done in the past, the Spanish Inquisition. And, you know, those Jews, when they found out they were Jews later on, or maybe they kept it in a little book somewhere, I don't know. They all reconverted, okay? They'll reconvert. They have this super strong ethnic identity for some reason. It's like a vindictive little kid who got bullied. I don't even want to say that necessarily, giving them too much credit, being too generous to them. But like, it's like a kid who got bullied, fucking going into a school and shooting it up. After that, that's what these fucking Jews are like. They just want to see everybody else like. It's fucking sick, dude. It's fucking sick. There are no words for how these people act. Okay, I will remind you that these people who are Edomites, they are the only people that Jesus ever called dogs. Okay, there is only one person, but he also showed that they could be forgiven. When the woman came at the table when he was eating with his disciples and begged for Jesus to cure her son's blindness, Jesus said, you know, get away from me, whatever. And then, like, she kept begging and begging. He said, it's not good to give food, bread for the children to the dogs. And she said, do not the dogs even deserve crumbs? And he said, oh, by your faith, basically, I'm just giving you my butchered version of what was said. But by your faith, because of the great faith you have, he healed her daughter. So none of these people are beyond redemption, okay? But I'd say 90% of them probably will never even consider that, okay? With, you know, I'd love for, that to change, but it seems like these are the people who have their hearts hardened. They're like Pharaoh, the one they escaped, that not them even. Because honestly, these are the people who say they are Jews but are not in the Bible. They are the synagogue of Satan. And these groups like Freemasons serve their interest at the end of the day. They don't know it, but they do. And you should never do business with these people, never affiliate with them. They should absolutely be feeling the hatred we have for them, okay? Not hatred, okay? The animus, the righteous indignation, right? And this guy is gonna turn around and defend Israel? Come on, let's see.
Wanted to undermine the U.S. national security, U.S. military prowess, because Israel wanted to form an alliance with India. Now, honestly, I haven't a clue where that comes from.
What the fuck is this?
I really don't. And unfortunately, these ideas are now going to gain currency.
Gain currency. Really? But they were going to form an alliance with India? Who cares if they did that? Go ahead. Oh my god, dude. Expelled from 1,000 countries. 1,000. Okay? And this guy, I believe, is the guy who was, really against Israel at one point. Is this not the same guy who used to be on mainstream media bashing Israel?
Because when you have a prophet,
Controlled.
PHET.
This is
It's normal
controlled
not
opposition.
normal. It's typical. I won't say normal. It's typical not to disaggregate their ideas. Like, okay, that was right. He was right about Iran. He was right about it. He was right about this too, and he was right about that too. But then,
How can you know he was right? How can you know he was right? I can tell you it's wrong to start a war for no reason, but how can you know he was right? All right, say we win this. What do we get? What's the prize? All the blood that was spilled, what will it get us at the end of the day? And guys, I'm sick of it. It's this is one of the most cowardly wars that was ever fought. Like, and God forbid we ever put troops on the ground into this war. Okay, but it's just straight up sick.
that's crazy. Most people, it's a package. And, you listen to these people, they're absolutely convinced that the Israelis killed John F. Kennedy.
There's a lot. What about Rubenstein, the guy who shot Oswald in the stomach because he was just such a patriot? He couldn't wait for him to go to court, so he had to go and shoot him. Oswald, who said he was a patsy, okay? Do you believe the official narrative on JFK? You're fucking insane if you believe that, okay? There's just so much wrong with it. We investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing. That's what the Warren Commission was. It was a fucking joke. And if you look at, there's this guy Michael Francis, a former mob underboss for the Gambino family, right? And he absolutely says that the mob and Israel were involved. And I'll let you guys know, some of the earliest organized crime was done by Jews. Because when the Italians started their mafia, nobody would suspect a Jew. So they used Jews in that sense. And Jews, they have their own mafia now. It's called Israel.
Yes, they will believe that. Next, you're going to be hearing that they assassinated.
It may not have been a Jew who pulled the trigger, man, but we have so many reasons to doubt. God, forgive me for the hatred I hold for this man. If he is the Israel critical guy, I don't know. Is this not that same guy? I've got to look at it. Who is the okay, Grok, help me out here. Grok. Who is the Jew that went on MSM all the time, being hyper critical of Israel, even saying he couldn't fault the Palestinians for the things they do because they're living in a concentration. God damn, dude, concentration camp. He would say stuff like, my parents taught me to speak out against these things. Is it gonna be whenever you ask about Jews? Holy shit. Okay. Man. fucking answer. What? Wow, Grog, what the fuck is wrong with you? Start. Dude, will Grog not answer this question? Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. I should have everything right. What the fuck, dude? Alright. I'm sorry, guys. This is ridiculous. Grok. Wow, dude. Why? Oh, so you can answer. Thank you, Grok. Yeah, Norman Finkelstein. This is the guy who was the champion of the left because of his criticism of Israel. And now look at him. He's folded. This is like why you can almost never trust them. You can almost never trust them because they will, at the end of the day, when things turn, they're gonna go back to default mode. Okay? Norman Finkelstein, you've become, or you always were, a liar.
Assassinate Abraham Lincoln, that they caused the Civil War. No, I'm serious.
Okay, bro, stop
You're
with the
laughing, but
straw
you have to see
man.
it, if you don't mind me saying so. You have to see it from my age and my perspective coming of age. I was alive during the Kennedy assassination. I remember it very well. I was in 5th grade.
Oh, wow. So that
I
makes
remember
you.
the teacher announcing it with a tear in her eyes. Why do I mention this? Not to people, for your listeners to marvel at how old I am. No, I didn't know Abraham Lincoln, but I do remember
Dude, you fucking Jew. Get
JFK.
to the point.
I mention it for the following reason. From the day of Kennedy's assassination, everybody was fascinated by the question, who did it? Who did it? And there was this deluge, avalanche of books written on the subject. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books. The most famous was by a guy named Mark Lane. It was called Rush to Judgment. There was one by Harold Weisberg.
Dude, please.
No, I was thinking Lee Harvey Oswald. That is one lone gunman, rather drab-looking Lee Harvey Oswald, had carried out this event of what was made out to be, it wasn't, but it was made out to be, of world historical significance.
That didn't have world historic significance? What happened to this man? Or should I say subhuman? This guy used to say that he couldn't blame the Palestinians for doing what they did, like terrorist attacks or whatever you want to call them, because they were living in a concentration camp. And now he's saying that we just think there's a Jew behind every bush. Like, this guy knows better than the straw man, and he is desperate. This is how you know we can win, guys. All right. This was a guy that people trusted. You know what I mean? People thought that here's a Jew who's telling the truth. But what happened? What happened to this guy?
JFK's assassination. In fact, it was pretty much meaningless. Kennedy was in
Meaningless?
office for 3 years. Nobody can mention anything he did except
It's meaningless when you assassinate a president. What the fuck? This is like,
for the fact that he brought the world to the verge, to the brink of nuclear annihilation. It was pretty close with Cuba.
He did that. He almost did that. Dude, that's fucking insane to say that he almost did that. Like, he fucking didn't send the military in during the Bay of Pigs, man. You know, JFK spoke out against secret societies. This had huge significance. We're still talking about the JFK assassination. He's talking about it right now. Like, he's disproving himself in real time. He's fucking making arguments that are circular.
Russia in 1963. Other than that, there's nothing here. His record, but it was manufactured. This myth of what came to be called. Your listeners will have no idea, but it's called the myth of Camelot. In any event,
sure, the shining, glowing image of Kennedy, right? Because he died, it became more mythologized how like good he was or whatever. Sure, I'll cop to that. What I'm not gonna cop to is that it was not of any historical significance. Are you fucking kidding me? The person gets shot in the head. Leader of the free world during the height of the Cold War gets shot in the fucking head and on live television. It's not of any significance. Oh my god. It has of all. Listen, this is how you know it was of significance because he's telling you it's not. Like I said, you first you got to listen to what they don't say, and then you have to listen to this type of shit. Okay, it when all of a sudden common sense goes out the window from a person who is normally reasonable. Pay attention.
if you read those books, hundreds, maybe more than hundreds. No,
Maybe more than hundreds. Yeah, there's thousands of books on JFK because there was not of any historical significance, right? Right? It was not. No, it's not like everybody in the world doesn't know that happened. It's not like that fucking was a huge sea change. It's not like that didn't get Lyndon B. Johnson in and someone who was far more Zionist in his leanings. And it's not like that it escalated the Vietnam War. Just culling our own herd of people. We send our strongest and best men off to war to die so that only the weak keep breeding. And then we end up weak enough and divided enough for these fucking Jews to come and say, it's free real estate. Well, I'm done with it. I would debate this guy any day, just operating from first principles and prove that he's acting evil. Okay? He's an evil. This is a guy that was a champion of this shit, dude. Of anti-Israel. He couldn't blame them. What the fuck? Now that the West is waking up, the narrative has shifted, and he has to shift because this is not a man with his own free thoughts, pointing out real problems for the benefit of society. This is a man who's controlled opposition. This is a man who's containment. And when people shift overnight, pay attention. If overnight I change, pay attention. If all of a sudden I start saying the opposite of what I used to, we need to start learning that and let take your emotions out of it when you judge something. But what I can tell you is this is the absolute antithesis of how this man used to talk. Okay, if I'm a goy, then you're a fucking subhuman little troll.
this crime. They mentioned Castro. They mentioned Russia. They mentioned, various theories. Israel. You know what Israel was in 1963? Israel was a backwater.
Sorry. Israel is a backwater, even though they sunk the USS Liberty very shortly after that, right? There's no denying that. There's absolutely no denying that. There's none. And the fact that you're backwater doesn't mean you can have a highly organized intelligence service. A backwater can still go get a rifle and shoot somebody. Okay? The ridiculous strawmans this guy makes. This is why I'm telling you, the Jews, the ones who are fucking evil, which are a lot of them. The ones that are evil are the most evil because they will lie to your face like this. Like, I've had people lie to my face. But the way these people lie to your face and turn on a dime, and it just shows you that they can lie so well because they absolutely do not even see you as human. It is a death penalty in the Talmud for somebody to read the Torah. Okay? So that means under the Talmud, we're all liable to death for even having been a Christian or gone to church once because you read the Talmud. I mean, the fucking Torah. You read it once. You're not allowed to do that. That's for them only. Okay? Now, a lot of things are coming into place. A lot. Whether you're secular or religious, you can't deny the truth anymore.
It had the GNP or the GDP, however you calculate it, of an African country. It was very poor. It was very simple. It wasn't the subject of any conversation, least of all.
Okay. Yeah, that was because it was before we actually subsidized Israel as our own. But, I guess that when Truman let that happen and said it was the worst regret of his presidency, that was just nothing. And now it's the tail wagging the dog, guys. We got in bed with the devil, okay? And this guy, he was in my feed, always being anti-Israel and talking about that. This is how much they hate the West. He acts like they go to the West and act like Islam is oppressed and they're fighting against the oppression of Islam. They go to Islam and act like the West is oppressed and they're fighting against it. They're pitting us against each other, guys. Plain and clear as day, that is what is happening.
Among American Jews. Israel? Kennedy?
What about the diaspora, you fucking idiot? Like the fucking organized Jewry. Oh my god. Do you not remember World War II? Like, what was Hitler's main driver in that? Okay? And you're going to say Jews don't have any power when the Rothschild controlled, like, banking? Like, the Jews controlled all of banking and you say they don't have any power? And dude, shut the fuck up. This guy is so wrong, it's insane.
But that's what these people believe now.
He's able to now switch gears. There's no more evidence. I couldn't see any stronger evidence than if you go back and watch an old clip of this guy and then now watch him. He's clearly just playing for Israel. He's just doing what it takes to make Israel not look bad. That's all. This is how convincing they are that this was this anti-war guy who was very much against the way that the Jews were treating the Palestinians. Why has he changed his tune? Well, because Israel is under threat. Because all he cares about is Israel at the end of the day and other Jews. That's all they care about at the end of the day. Somebody needs to infiltrate the Jews. Somebody needs to.
They believe that the United States.
What if Bibi Netanyahu had gotten assassinated right now by a sniper? Would that not be of any historical significance? The lies, man. The fucking lies. And it's like, dude, I cannot go through 100 years of history for you guys to just know what the fuck is going on. All you have to do is operate from first principles, whether you're a Christian or secular. All you have to do is operate from first principles, and you'll see who is the corrupting force.
States is pristine. You know what pristine means? Pure. Pristine
Nobody
innocence.
said that.
And that the Israelis control everything.
We're not pristine or pure. We are corrupted. Not just like, I'm not saying it's all fucking Jews. Nobody's saying that, okay? And that we're pristine and pure. How the fuck could we even say that when there's like a million different demographics in the US? How, bro? How? Please tell me. And nobody's saying we're pristine and pure. The only people who are supremacists like that are fucking the Jews in Israel, okay? They are. And nobody, like, this guy just is consistently building straw mans. It's insane. It's insane to watch the narrative fall apart. And you just have to fucking love it.
They trick everybody. They're behind everything.
They
Everything
do.
that happens.
Not everything, but a lot, okay? So, like, dude, you're trying to discredit everything.
If there's a car crash on Ocean Parkway where I live, it's the Zionists.
Fucking insane, dude.
It's true.
That's
I
not
get the
how it
emails
works.
from perfectly sane people who are very adamant that Israel is behind everything. And now that voice,
Israel is embedded in our government. They have a lobby that's not registered as a foreign lobby. They have billions of our dollars going to them to fund war crimes. They have free health care because we subsidize it, okay? They have all our Tomahawk missiles. They have the Iron Dome. But before we get defense, they do, okay? We're not saying that the Jews are behind every car wreck. We're saying that they're embedded in our government and that they are acting like a bunch of fucking animals. What they call us is what they are. And until you, sir, actually address the real arguments, I will consider you a Edomite piece of shit, lower than dirt, okay? You have the ability to turn that around. You really do. But I don't know. He probably won't. This guy's played both sides his whole fucking life. You're not now going to turn around after being hypercritical of Israel and then all of a sudden care about, like, us criticizing them. What in the absolute fuck? What in the absolute fuck does this guy think he's doing? Do you think I have the memory of a goldfish? You absolute piece of shit. I would talk to you any day. I'd talk to you. Whatever, man. Whatever.
because they were right.
Because I could prove you wrong in 2 seconds. I could do it any day of the fucking week.
On Iran is going to be vastly amplified. And that's a problem.
Tell me why we should do
It's
it.
a problem. It's going to be a very big problem for Jews, by the way. It's going to be a very big problem.
Oh no, the poor fucking Jews. The Jews! Oh no, the poor Jews. What about the rest of us, okay? What about the common good for everybody else, okay? What about the people that the Jews are fucking up all over the world? We have to strip them of their power. If their country has to collapse, so be it. If they want to drop a nuke out of vengeance, so be it. But I'm going to stand on the truth. Unlike this is a liar. This is a fucking piece of shit.
For Jews. And there is, the Jews have historically always feared this charge of what's called dual loyalty. You know what dual loyalty?
Yeah, you have dual loyalty. Look at you. You've turned around. You've become a different person. Yeah, you shouldn't have that. This is another debate we need to have. Maybe nobody should have it. I say nobody should have dual citizenship anywhere. If it's the only way to get rid of these fucking Jews, then so be it.
It means that Jews are more loyal to other Jews than they are to their own country. The dual loyalty charge.
They are. Look at you. You're sitting here defending it.
And it has a very long pedigree, the claim of dual loyalty. And now when you hear these commentators,
You could make that claim about anybody, but like, look what Israel's doing. I don't accuse somebody who has a citizenship in, let's just say, Spain, of having dual. Like, okay, take case in point, somebody like Metatron on YouTube, who is an Italian American. I don't think he has dual loyalty to Italy. Like, he's an American. I don't believe that he has dual loyalty to Italy. But if he did, I would call him out for it. But the dual loyalty problem only lies with the people who are getting all of our money and dragging us into wars. Do you guys remember we were just in a 20-year war that only benefited one country? Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember when we, like, just over and over and over, we got to keep these fucking Jews happy, dude. There's never enough money.
The question that constantly comes up is, who are they loyal to?
Right. Who are you loyal
Are they
to?
loyal to their country,
Are you?
or are they loyal to another state?
Are you?
And if now it's being said that other state wanted to weaken the U.S., that's
They
what Tucker
did.
Carlson says, then those people are guilty of treason.
Indeed.
It's beyond dual loyalty. It's treason. You are aiding.
This is why he's saying this, because he's afraid. He's literally telling on himself. This is how they all feel on the inside. They're so afraid of getting accused of these things. Remember the other day, the SPLC just came out. The Southern Poverty Law Center which is highly Jewish organization, was actually paying the KKK, paying groups to be racist. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that unless you had some sort of reason, some sort of loyalty to somewhere else? Why would you stoke division in our country?
And abetting a foreign state to undermine the
They
national
do.
security of your own country.
Please.
That's treason.
Please.
So it's going to be a rough ride now. You know, the famous line by Betty Davis and All About Eve. Fasten your seat belts. It's going to be a rough.
It has been a rough ride, okay? For American citizens, it's been a rough ride, okay? It's just been downhill. Like, just look at the line go on any graph, on anything that is a metric of prosperity. Watch it go up, and then it goes down as soon as basically it peaks in the 90s, and as September 11th happens, we go down, our line does, as Israel line go up, okay?
Right, a rough night. Yeah, there will be a problem for Jews. I'm not happy about that because I believe it's factually incorrect, a lot of the assumptions there. But
They're not assumptions. They're not assumptions. There is a trail of evidence that you can follow. Anybody can follow. You can look at how much money. You can see where the weapons that Israel has came from. Okay? Oh, God. And all you other countries, if you have no ties to Israel, I beg you, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Don't listen to them no matter what they say. Don't fucking listen to somebody on the behalf of the state of Israel. That country should be absolutely just fucking dissolved and given to the Arabs. I don't give a fuck. Give it to anybody. Anybody but them. These people, how do you deal with them? This is the question of our day. The Jewish question. It came back, okay? How do we deal with them? All right? We saw how Hitler tried. Didn't work. Only gave them more power. It was like Obi-Wan. If you strike me down, I will become more powerful than ever. We cannot do that. That's not the route, okay? As a free speech route, we can try. We're going to have to keep strategizing and figuring this out as we go along. But we cannot become complacent and forget about this. There's a news cycle whose whole purpose is to make you forget about that. All right? Every time that the Jews come to hit headlines, something else happens to make you forget about it. And the problem is the more we notice, the more intense the distraction has to be. All right? And so Now, this man, ah, wow. You know how many people believed him? You know how many people thought he was a voice for human rights? It's sickening, absolutely sickening. I don't know, there's something very sick about that. Uh, it's gross. It's gross. Why do you think all the Jews are actors? Because their whole life is an act. They're acting to you, they're acting to me. I don't want to fucking put all Jews in that category, but when somebody acts like this, I even have to doubt people like Dave Smith because Dave Smith is anti-war and all that, and he's a libertarian and he's Jewish. But because look at how this guy did a 180-degree turn, this means that you have to doubt even Dave Smith. Dave Smith, I would love to hear his response to this guy. What does Dave Smith think of this guy?
In part, you have reaped what you have sown. You're going to reap the whirlwind now, and that's very regrettable, I believe. So there's going to be problems arising. Um, Unfortunately, if you listen to I don't listen to the podcast, but I listened enough. The notion that it was what happened in Iran was, quote, it was Israel's war, Israel's doing. Everybody was saying it across the spectrum.
Oh yeah, that's funny. It's funny how everybody seems to be noticing, across the spectrum. And this guy thinks that that's just everybody's just wrong. Okay, we just all got it wrong. All right. If we all think that across the spectrum, and that is the popular belief of the people, then the people should determine that this war should have never happened. Nobody wanted this fucking war. And people are still coping and seething. They make me as sick as this individual does.
People, I don't think he's particularly bright, but the left doesn't have many bright lights anymore. The era of the great Noam Chomsky has passed. And now
Even Noam Chomsky, he also showed his true colors.
mediocres are the left, with some exceptions, very few. But you hear people like Max Blumenthal, even this guy Daniel Levy, who was just a left liberal, Israeli. They're all saying it was Israel. Yeah, Israel tipped the balance, but that the
Yeah,
U.S.
man. Why are we in the Middle East? Like, why are we doing Israel's bidding? Why? Why couldn't Israel launched this attack without telling us, and then we had to jump to action because they did this shit. You know what I mean? It's not just a conspiracy theory, you fucking hack, dude. Look into what little left of these people have of a soul. They need to examine themselves. And it's very difficult to ever believe them when they do stuff like this. It's very, very difficult. It's just how Ben Shapiro all of a sudden likes Trump. All of a sudden, dude, their loyalties are 100% to Israel. No matter what they say, they'll do and say whatever it takes to convince you to stop talking about it, to stop thinking about it.
had no interest. The U.S. that had Iran in its crosshairs.
According according to all the written record of what happened, it was against almost every person in Trump's orbit advice to do this. It was not in our interest to do this at all. The Jews oversold it to him, made it seem like it'd be a quick victory. He was high on Maduro. He was high off of the success of Maduro, okay? And then, so Trump was swayed to do this. Now look at him. Now look at him. He's putting out pictures of himself as Jesus. He's, acting like he's the savior. He's acting like, Mark Levin calls him the first Jewish president. It's insane if you look at what those people used to say about him and what they say about him now. As soon as you support Israel, all of a sudden they love you, okay? And as soon as you dislike them, they want you dead, okay? You are only an object to them, all right? Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Even an atheist Jew still has an ethnic an ethnic motivation to do these things. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I can't think of any other explanation than that they're just evil.
Since 1979, the U.S. that approved Saddam Hussein's use of
Oh yeah, you know who convinced us to get involved in that war? Israel. Bibi Netanyahu himself. Didn't he come in front of Congress and say they were about to have weapons of mass destruction? This man is seeking to detach Israel's involvement from every major crime. I'm not detaching the US from what we've done, okay? But to say that Israel had no hand in it is to say that the sky is fucking green, okay? It's absolutely insane. This fucking guy, dude. The
poison
gall.
in its war against Iran. The U.S., which concealed um, Saddam Hussein's use of poison gas, concealed it.
Yeah, we put them into power, and then, like, when you guys wanted them gone, we did it. For you. You guys all need to stop being goys. Stop being slaves to these people, man. They will. As soon as they have power over you, they will fucking torture you. That I don't believe a fucking word. All you can do is listen to them and see what they don't say and infer why they're doing things they're doing. But as far as them ever giving anything that's factual, I don't think they ever have, and they never will. And the spell, their little Kabbalistic spell, is breaking. And this guy is perfect proof of it. Look at him 10 years ago, what he said, and look at what he says now. Look into Norman Finkelstein. It's absolutely disgusting, guys.
Had no interest. No, no, it's way off.
The people
They
definitely
believe
didn't. The people. All right, guys. That's it for today. It's way off. We had no interest. You're right. You're right. You're right. But like, even though everybody said, "Don't do it, Trump. Don't do it, Trump," we had no interest. We don't want to. We were trying to create stability in the Middle East. There was the Abraham Accords. There was all of these things. And now, look what's happening. Look what happens when you do what Israel wants you to do. You end up you become their slaves and you're no better than them. And it's fucking disgusting. Couldn't be more disgusting, guys. And I'm going to end it there for today. I wish I could do more. I wish there was, more people watching. Please like, comment, share this. Please. I'm probably going to be shadow banned for talking about this. And it's probably only a matter of time before somebody fucking figures it out and just, deletes me. But if all of us do it, if everybody starts speaking up, they can't do anything about it. And they need to feel the fear. They need to feel it. They need to know that we're not on board with this. They need to know that the people themselves are all against this. I don't care if the government is on board with it. We're not. And they need to know that. They need to know we're not on board. And they need to know we see them for who they are. And we do. Okay? And every time you look at anything, where it's corruption in the U.S., it's like, why would anybody, that makes absolutely no logical sense why this would happen. Well, a lot of the times, you follow where the money is. You follow who is advocating for it. You look behind the scenes. You look at the companies. You look who the CEO of those companies are. And you will find the answer. And it's always the same. Almost always the fucking same. Okay? It's either a Zionist or a Jew. And it's not everything. It's not that a car crashes and that's a Jew. It's not these ridiculous straw men that this guy is building. It's not that. It's the actual evidence, and it's the actual things that we can all see with our eyes and ears. All right? That's all it is. It's that simple. We shouldn't complicate it. And I feel no need either way. I don't think that we even have to explain ourselves to them. Okay? I don't think we even have to. I think that they should just get the fuck out. I don't think we have to have a logical case to do what we want in our country. I don't think we need to logically sell it to the people who are stabbing us, actively stabbing us, and say, hey, wait, let me sell to you why you shouldn't be stabbing me, why you shouldn't be paying people to stab me, why you shouldn't be causing instability, why you shouldn't be fucking pushing smut. You know, all of this shit, guys. All of this shit, guys. And I have to check myself because I want to hate these people. I fucking do. I want to hate them. Alright? But I have to believe that they're not all past redemption. And sadly, I thought that this guy, you know, he was in my feed not long ago being critical of Israel. Sadly, I thought there was a guy who had a conscience. Seems like sadly I was wrong, and that just more and more proof that they're all working together and doing this shit. And please, like, if somebody would address my arguments in a way besides just that's not what legacy media says, like actually address the argument, none of them will ever do that. And you guys all know why. Everybody knows why. And we're all going to be complicit in it unless you guys say something. Do you guys want another... do you want Israel to be the global hegemon? Is that what you guys want? Is that what you guys want? Really, is that what you want? That's fucking nuts. I would rather... Hey, there's somebody in the chat. Holy shit. Who is that? Yo! Hell, never had a chatter. Fucking thanks for watching. You're a fucking, whoever you are, you're the real G, dude. You're the shit, bro. Whoever you are. I'm not a technology guy. Let me see. D&D. I play Warhammer 40K. I have, listen, bro, I'm bad at technology. I see your chat now. I do see it. Sorry about that. No, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry about that. I don't know. I'm terrible with this. I just assumed I had no chatters because normally there was nobody in here. D&D, I always wanted to play D&D. I never could though. You know what? I got this. Let me show you something. Look, maybe we could play it on here. Where is it? You ever heard of Tabletop Simulator? Does that allow you to play it? I don't know. It does interest me. It does. I do 3D printing. I play Warhammer 40K. I love tabletop gaming in general. Let me show you something. I play D&D. Are you check out. This is this is Abaddon. You know, they used to call him Abaddon the Despoiler. Check it out. You like him? I'm sorry, I can't. Can we get a good shot of him? I painted this back in the 90s. God. Terrible quality. Okay, but also... One sec, buddy, one sec. But also... Let me show you. I got some very interesting. So here's some 3D prints of mine. Play or oh, hell, either. I've never really played. I always wanted to, but I've always dealt with these elitist people like who don't want you in their group. You know what I mean? I've always wanted to try though. The way I always kind of saw it was like Warhammer 40K was for just like straight strategical nerds, and D&D was kind of like more for drama kids. But I always wanted to do it. I always did. I'll play or DM. I'll do either one. Are you still there? Still there? What a Star Wars evil political. Yes, yes. I'm 100% interested, bro. How do I. You messaged me on X? How. Where were you? You were messaging me places? Comment. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, there's like a D&D Star Wars. I'd love to play it. Let me see. Star Wars evil political theme. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm reading your comment, dude. I'm reading your comment. There's a bit of a delay, all right? Okay. Let me open my Discord. Hold on. Are you doing it right now or I'm gonna have to stop the stream in a second. I'll keep this up though. The known dark senate. We should do a campaign that's like there's an Israel and there's an Israel within Star Wars. Like it's a Megiddo, like really, really. That's fucking awesome, bro. That's awesome. I would love to be the supreme leader. You know who the first people I'd kick out the Rhodians though. You know what I mean? Uh sure, we can chat. What time is it? 11? I got a little bit of time. Sure. Hold on. I was about to end the stream here. That was a 15-minute video, but I just sort of went off. Sure. Sure. You're not Jewish, are you? Are you Jewish? Hmm? Sensing a bit of a pause there. And if you are Jewish, are you, against this stuff that I've been talking about, right? Not really, but this isn't some Jewish psyop, is it? Tell me, please. You're not, or what? Okay, thank you. That's the thing that matters most, right? Ah, thank God. Yeah, let me open my Discord and tell you. My name on there. Maybe I shouldn't say it on stream. Hold on a second. Look, I'm gonna pull it up. Uh, okay. This is disable streamer mode. Where the fuck do I see my name? Right there. Okay. Look, there's me. Do you see that? Swollen Testy. You like that name? Swollen Testy. Bro, I will. Yeah. Hold on a second, buddy. The known dark. All right. Bro, I'm. There's so much technology. I suck at this. Just give me a second, all right? Friends. Hold on. Fucking shit, dude. All right. I sent you a request. Bro, I mostly work either off the computer or out of the house mostly. I have two careers. So let me see your message and then maybe I'll end the stream. Let's see. We should do a D&D stream maybe. That'd be good. Let me the fudge, bro. The known dark senate. Okay. Hey, hey. All right, bro. I'm gonna be I'll cut what I need to out of this, but I gotta upload this. All right. I'm gonna stop the stream now. Hey, man, You're my first person in chat. I think. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. There's a YouTube chat too, is there not? Like, bro, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, you know. But if somebody could. Oh, there is this. Oh, there is a chat. Okay, there's somebody in there in the chat. I wonder why all Jews look the same, like war criminals. Go fuck yourself. You piece of shit. You defending genocide cause you are Jewish. You're an Edomite, Canaanite piece of shit. You want to kill people and rape little kids. You fucking piece of shit. You fucking piece of shit. You're gonna burn in hell, you dumb piece of shit. Peace out. That's the end of the stream. This guy is obviously a fucking Zio or a Jew, but either way, you know, you're going to hell, dude. You're going straight to hell. You're the one who's gonna boil in excrement. Alright, sorry, I'm getting a little heated. I'm gonna end my stream now. Thank you. Sorry. I'm